Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Apples and Ginos Fantasy Hockey Podcast. This is week 9 of Trade Talks. My name is Brian. I'm joined by Evan and Ryan, and today we'll provide some trade grades on some real trades and highlight some players we might be selling alongside some other goodies. Here we go.
All right. Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Just peachy.
Good.
Great. It's probably going better than me because I'm having my worst fantasy hockey season probably ever, and little embarrassing, but I am still winless in the APL. Anyone else in the APL out there without a win, or anyone in fantasy hockey?
Crickets, anyone? Or
No,
Just
I'm
me.
Okay, I'm okay in the APL. Not as good as I'd like to be, but I don't know. Have you guys seen this on Yahoo where it's like matchup of the week? But all of my Yahoo leagues, I'm in the matchup of the week, so it's pretty intense for me right now. And we're playing each other in the Experts League, Ryan. So
Yeah, extra pressure. Wait, is ours the matchup of the week?
it is. In case you didn't notice,
I didn't tell my guys.
Yeah, that should tell you everything, Ryan. Like, you don't even know what's matchup of the week. He's already starting to get checked out. That's not a good look.
he's too locked in giving trade advice.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So let's get into some. We got some news. We got some big news. A lot of things going on in the NHL. So first up, Josh Norris is back, and he returned in a big way with 3 points, 2 goals last night. He's skating on line 1 on that top power play with Tage Thompson as well. So that's exciting. If you had him on your IR, activate him ASAP. He also has another point tonight on the power play, which is exciting. And then Gabe Landeskog is really cooking lately. He got moved up to the top power play unit. They finally took Victor Olofsson off. And Landeskog is on fire lately, and things are looking good. Do you guys think the Landeskog of the past has returned?
No, I think he's riding a hot hand. That's what I think. But if you have the chance to pick him up while he's riding that hot hand, grab him.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the question is, how long is he going to stay healthy? Is he going to stay healthy? I'd be terrified as a Landeskog owner and holder. Plus, Val's back, and I know they kind of eased him back in this next part of the news here. Ryan Nichushkin returns to line 3 power play 2. That's not going to stick. Nichushkin is too good. He's better on that top power play. There's no question in my mind. But it is interesting with how good Gabe Landeskog and the chemistry he has with McKinnon being the captain of that team.
Yeah, I think I saw Nichushkin had around 12 minutes of ice time last night, so that won't stay. Before he left with injury, he was nearing the 22-minute mark and right on the top power play. So we'll see what happens in Colorado. And then Tyler Seguin, unfortunately, has a torn ACL, so he's out for the season. Poor guy.
Can't catch a break, this guy. I swear. It's like as soon as he gets back in the lineup, he's hurt again. That injury looked painful too. I don't know if you guys saw that. The whole inside his knee just buckles on the in. Oh, that hurt. That looks like it hurt.
Yep. I wouldn't watch that again. I don't enjoy those.
Evan might.
No, I do not. I was a Sagan owner this week in multiple spots, and as we get into some of these other injuries, I had pretty much every guy that's gotten injured in the past week on my team. So that's tough.
Bummer. Yeah. And other injuries. Scott Wedgwood left the game last night early. He played around half the game, and then Blackwood came in and stopped all 10 shots he faced. So really no news of Wedgwood if the injury is serious, if he'll miss time, but keep an eye on that. If Wedgwood does miss time, Blackwood will be that starter that you drafted him as to get the majority of starts. But if Wedgwood isn't injured, I think we're still in a timeshare. And then Tyson Forster, he was really starting to heat up. Unfortunately, he is out 2 to 3 months. He took a slap shot and something went on in his upper body. It wasn't a contact injury, but he will miss 2 to 3 months with an upper body injury.
I think he dislocated his shoulder, if I'm being honest, watching that. He couldn't move his arm at all. But yeah, that as a Forrester streamer this week, again, it was not ideal. He did get a power play goal before he did it, so that's what we like to see. But yeah, he's got a good shot, and he proved it with that, unfortunately. Getting to some comments here quick. Edawan67, hello, fellas. Cats, goals, assists, points, power play points, shots, hits, blocks, Panarin or Wyatt Johnston? That is a spicy one. I have to. This might be a spicy take. I have to go Wyatt Johnston. I feel like he is just really cooking this year, and I like Panarin. And Panarin's like this, I guess, the smarter pick there. But what about you, Brian? I'll start with you.
Yeah, I'd still go Panarin. I all the offense runs through Panarin in New York, and all the offense in Dallas doesn't go through Wyatt Johnston, but he's surrounded by a much more talented cast. But I'd still go with Panarin here.
Yeah, same here. It's just they could end up the same in terms of rank at the end of the year in these leagues. They're both not going to hit or block. They'll probably have similar shot numbers. And then Wyatt Johnston, he's just going crazy on the power play, but is Dallas power play going to sustain that throughout the whole season? Evan thinks they will.
Dallas has got it rolling this year, boys, and Wyatt Johnston is the biggest part of that. He is going to eclipse, mark it here. He's going to eclipse Leon Draisaitl's record for power play goals in the season with 33 this year.
Okay.
And we got Marner for Panarin points league. Absolutely, I would take Panarin over Marner here.
Definitely.
Personally.
Yeah.
I don't think I would actually. That's one where I'm still, I don't love Marner, but I think just as the season goes on in Vegas, like it's such a great situation for him. And if he starts to gel well and like he has 100-point pace written all over him. So I think he'll return to that, to be honest, as the season goes on.
Do you guys feel weird about Vegas? Like it's weird. I feel like almost everyone has been devalued there outside of like Eichel and Stone. Like I almost feel like, Dorofeyev's hot streak's over. Hurdle is okay. But like Shea Theodore is off the power play. He's devalued. I feel like Marner there too. He's not getting the same minutes. He's just like the quarterback on the power play, but 25 points in 26 games, like, and not a ton of power play points, or at least what you would expect for him. I don't know. I'm not a big Marner guy this year personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Vegas seems to be, they're definitely a deep team this year, and they're taking advantage of that and spreading three lines, playing all three lines, and that's what I thought Dallas was going to do this year. But it's the opposite. Dallas is rolling their big guns and benching their bottom six, which is what any great fantasy hockey coach will do.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, does Adam Fox injury change anything for y'all? Forgot to ask about that. No, for me in terms of the Panarin versus Wyatt Johnston, but Adam Fox injury is unfortunate. Last comment here: trade targets tiers of dealing away Caulfield or Forsberg. That's a tough one without knowing the league or kind of what you're looking for in your team. But I don't know what you can even get for Philip Forsberg at this point. It's kind of been tough for him. I think he's just unfortunately a hold at this point. I don't think you're going to get the value that you need personally. Any other thoughts on that, guys?
No, I got Forsberg in a couple spots, and I kind of just got to ride it out here. I think Nashville's offense is starting to turn a little bit, so I would imagine that he would start to get in on that as well, but I can't think of any trade targets off the top of my head, or else I would have already tried it.
Yeah, I think same here. I have a lot of Forsberg, and early on I tried to trade him for Nietzsche's. Didn't work out, and it would have worked out if the trades were accepted. But Forsberg, I'm just holding on, hoping that he gets some lucky bounces and returns to a point per game pace. But I'm not counting on it.
Yeah. Brian, you want to get into the next segment of Newsies here?
Yeah, for sure. So first up here, we got Pasta is still out, and he's likely to miss another week. Like right off the hop, I thought the Bruins were going to take a nosedive, and Connor Geekie is still putting up points, so that kind of surprised. But unfortunately, Pasta will be out a little while longer. And then coming up on the next one, we have the best goalie in the league by the looks of it, Wallstead, with his 4th shutout, on fire. He's in a true split with the Gus Bus there, but he doesn't look like he's going to slow down. So if Wallstead, for whatever reason, is still on the waiver wire or still in free agency, scoop him up because he's been great in a great environment there.
Or he's a sell high. Who knows? This is apples and Ginos here.
That's true.
Wow.
He's not going to slow down. He's played 10 games. He's had a 944 save percentage with 4 shutouts. He's going to slow down, guys. He's 23 years old. Goalies tend to peak around like 25, 26, not when they're 23. 23 is a rare case. So, if you are streaming Wallstead, good for you. Hype him up as the best goalie in the league. Trade him now, because this won't sustain the rest of the season. You heard it here.
Look at that Selly though. I mean, if you're on YouTube, I mean that is a great win, Selly. I'll say that.
That's a great pick you got there, Ryan or Evan. Sorry, that's absolutely great snipe there. Moving on here, we got Carter Hart debuted for Vegas last night and got a win against Chicago. I actually watched that game, and Carter Hart looked a lot better than I thought he was going to look. Vegas gave up a lot of on-man rushes, but I thought he actually fit in there pretty nice. So it'll be pretty interesting moving forward. I'm curious what you guys think. Like, when Aiden Hill's back, do you think it's going to be a true split? Like, what are your early thoughts on the Carter Hart there in Vegas?
Ryan, you want to tackle that the goalie?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. I don't think it'll be a split at all when Aiden Hill's back. I think if Aiden Hill comes back healthy, like, he's the starter. But for now, I think we'll definitely have a timeshare between Schmid and Carter Hart, because they're gonna keep playing him until he plays poorly. So Vegas is a great team. Ride the hot hand, and Carter Hart might be the hot hand now.
Yeah, I guess the follow-up quick question is, does he start the next game, you think?
No.
I like it.
Schmid's been playing well, too, even before that. I mean, it's a good team environment, obviously, but Carter Hart played pretty well in his debut, but he gave up that goal to Bertuzzi. He literally just, skated out and, passed it to him. So a little rust on the edges, but he got the win, so that's nice. Yeah, absolutely. Moving on here, we got Hagel is still not on power play 1, but clearly it doesn't matter. He's been putting up multi-point games every single night. After a slow start to the year, he has really picked it up and made up for lost time. So if you have Hagel, you must be super happy about that, because he's really picking it up and looking really good in the top 6 there in Tampa. I think we're all still hoping he gets onto that top power play, but I don't know if he keeps up the even strength, he might not get onto the top power play.
Yeah, it's wild to me. Like, Nick Paul was back on the top power play.
Yeah,
and what are we doing there? Get this man Brandon Hagel there, and he can sustain probably a 90-point pace if he gets the top power play unit. But I mean, he's on a 90-point pace now. That's not gonna stay with no power play time. He's not gonna get 85 even strength points.
What you're missing out here, Ryan, is his shorthanded points, because him and Cirelli shorthanded looks like a power play for the Lightning instead. So it's kind of crazy.
That is true.
Right.
That is very true.
He did 7 last year, and he only has 1 so far. So he should get more of those.
Should.
Yeah. Next not from Vegas, from Utah, we got a new goalie starting tonight. I won't be able to pronounce his name here. It's Daniil Butte, is it? Daniil Butte?
It's not. It's not a goalie. It's
left wing. He's left wing. Oh my god, yeah. Little laps there, guys. Daniil Butte, but will be debuting tonight with Cooley and Gunther, so pretty decent line mates there. So that'll be nice to see. I'm curious to see how he does there. Brant Clark is on power play 1. I know there's been a lot of recent hype with him there. Over Byfield, he'll be on power play 1. I'm curious to see how long that lasts, because we did get some updates from LA that they're going to have a couple of guys coming back soon. Doughty might be coming back soon. So that'll be curious to see if that sticks. Hopefully he takes advantage of it, and then they have no choice but to keep him on there. And then lastly, we got the Pinto bean on PP1 over Cousins, which we know Nate has been saying all season should be the case, but it's sad to see Cousins taken off of power play one for those of you that own Cousins. And Brady Tkachuk obviously being back. It looks like Cousins line up even right now at even strength. He had Brady Tkachuk, and then he doesn't have Brady Tkachuk. He's got Batherson now, so it'll be curious to see what happens with Cousins moving forward. But biggest takeaway here, the Pinto bean is PP1, and he looks good there.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Some quick comments to Champ 8923. Who do you think I can acquire for Darnell Nurse, the Eggman? Looking to move him before he costs me with less playoff games, point settings, goals, assists, shots, blocks. In a points league, man, I think you could move Darnell Nurse for anyone with PP1 exposure for me. It's hard to say. I mean, if somebody is willing to take on Darnell Nurse and you're looking for another, I'm assuming you're looking for a defenseman replacement. I mean, honestly, I'd look at like, I don't know. You guys got any Owen Zellweger? Honestly, like I would like. There's a lot of defensemen that like points upside. I would go for over Darnell Nurse at this point.
I wouldn't go for Zellweger. I'd rather have Darnell Nurse. I don't know. Maybe someone like Colton Parayko, maybe.
No.
But no,
I'd have to. Yeah, like you'd have to look at the playoff schedule because that's what he's worried about here. But Darnell Nurse is top 20 D in I think that points league right now, and he'll probably drop down to 25, but he'll stick around with all those periffs. And so you just want to grab someone top power play guy who has 4 games in your playoff week. That should be good.
Yeah, it could be a forward as well since I have Hedman on IR. If it could be a forward, go for like Will Cooley. Rangers have a great playoff schedule. Someone like that. Anyone like Ryan said, look at the playoffs. The Rangers are really good. Boston's really good. Pittsburgh's really good. Some guys like on power play 1 that would be good there. Puck stud. How do you rank Barzal, Dorofeyev, Strome, Fantilli, Ehlers? Could couple points, 0.5 for shots on goal and blocks, 0.25 for hits. I'll try and take this first. I would go Barzal, Fantilli, Ehlers, Dorofeyev, Strome. Ryan, you.
Wow, you putting Adam Fantilli over Dorofeyev now, eh?
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
Nice. I like it. I'm going Barzal. I'm probably going Ehlers second. I have faith in him still. And I'd be pretty close with Doro and Fantilli. I'd probably go Dorofeyev over Fantilli and then Strome.
Wow, you guys hate Strome.
Right.
You guys hate him. He's been pretty decent. I mean, he hasn't.
He has, yeah.
But no, definitely Barzal first. I do. And then probably Ehlers, Fantilli, Doro, and then Strome. So I guess I hate Strome
too. he's not exciting at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like he honestly could do pretty decent like he did last year, but it's difficult to say. Ryan, you want to get into the new segment here?
Let's do it. We're doing a little switch, a little snip snap from our trade targets. We're not doing trade targets this week. We're switching it to time to sell. So we're going to highlight 3 players, one each, of players we think it is time to sell on. We are pretty much a third of the way into the fantasy hockey season, and at this point, if a player is doing well, like in other people's minds, they're draft day is non-existent in minds anymore. It's really, what have you done so far? So let's take her away. And Evan, who is on your selling trade block here?
Yeah, if you're looking on YouTube, you're looking at Evgeny Malkin, who a lot of people had selling, first few weeks of the season. And I think his price has come down a little bit because he's kind of trending downward. But he still has really good production. He's still like hovering around a point per game player. I think there's still a lot of shine on Evgeny Malkin right now. He's still top power play. But he's only got 2 assists in the last 4 games. There was 2 in the last game that he had, but his ice time has been trending down. He's kind of like some of these games, 15, 16 minutes time on ice, which I think they're doing. I mean, they need to manage his time on ice. He's getting older. So I think as the season sets in, you're going to see more fatigue, more injury. Penguins are regressing. They kind of have already done that from a goal scoring standpoint. But I still think you can get a fair bit for Evgeny Malkin. I think if you were to throw out like, Evgeny Malkin for kind of like a player like Will Smith, or like a younger player, Devin Cooley, or Logan Cooley rather. I think you can get some of those trades still through, and be happier middle to end of season, with what you're going to get with Malkin. I think that at this point you can still get some value for him, and now would be the time to move him if you haven't already. Any thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah, I got some thoughts because this was a trade target of mine 2 weeks ago, which I traded Carter Verhaeghe, who we sent straight to jail. We sent Carter Verhaeghe to jail, and his wife had a baby while he was in there, unfortunately. But yeah, I sent Carter Verhaeghe and Val Nichushkin when Nichushkin was injured for Malkin 3 weeks ago, and I still think like nothing much has changed in my mind from that point of Malkin. I said like I could see 75 points being happily surprised. I'm expecting 70 points. We're not expecting 100 points. If you split his season in half, I believe he was on like 110 point pace in the first half, and he's on a 60 point pace in the second half. So I think many people would expect this last 60 point pace to be what Malkin is, but I actually do think that he's been unlucky in the last 12 games a little bit. Things have regressed already, but over regressed, I think. So I think 70 points is still in Malkin's wheelhouse, and I would still be interested in him.
It's funny, as I was like making the slides for this episode, I literally had that slide. I almost wanted to keep it in just so we could go over it again. I think my view on Malkin is a little bit lower than yours, but I think you can get value for him because he's done so well, to your point, Ryan. My concern really is more with his age, the Penguins as a team, and potential injury. But I don't disagree with the fact that he could put up a good season. I just think that you could get like a younger player with some more upside. Brian, you be the judge real quick. You taking Malkin or are you selling him?
I'm selling Malkin. I'm not taking Malkin.
Quick fantasy hockey court there. And then Ryan, we'll let you rebuttal and get into your time to sell.
No, it's fine. I'll buy Malkin for you guys. I will give away Carter Verhaeghe, and I'll take Malkin if you guys want to do that.
As you gave Carter Verhaeghe, he proceeded to get like a goal and 3 assists.
Yeah, he had quite the week.
Sorry.
Right after we took him to jail. All right. I am selling high on Bradley Marchand. The rat run is done. You heard it here first. So Matt Tkachuk, there's been no rumblings yet, but he will return. He will return relatively soon. We're into December. I think into January, you'll definitely have a Matt Tkachuk return. There's been no like major setbacks or anything. So that will change things in Florida. That will make Brad Marchand not the number one guy there that he has been the number one guy in Florida. He is on pace for a lot of even strength points, 65 even strength points, 27 power play points. The power play points, I think, can stay there if he remains on the top power play, but who knows if that's going to happen with Matt Tkachuk returning. Florida tends to shift a lot of things around. We've been fairly disappointed as Carter Verhaeghe owners in the past for Verhaeghe getting on that top unit, getting off, and I just don't think Brad Marchand will be on that top unit in the full second half of the fantasy season. Marchand has great shot numbers, but he's had insane conversion so far. He has a 24% shooting percentage at even strength, which is nuts, and a 90% IPP. So he's been involved in everything on the ice, and those numbers are going to come down. All of this is occurring with less than 14 minutes of even strength ice time. So I just think that if you're holding on to Brad Marchand expecting a point per game, you're going to be very disappointed in the second half of the fantasy season, and sell high now. Maybe you can get someone like Kevin Fiala, maybe Tom Wilson, Genther, Alex Tuck. So I'd be targeting all those guys and sell high on Marchand. On top of all that, he is almost 38 years old. And if you're looking at his games played lines over the last 7 seasons, it reads 71, 82, which is good, but then 73, 70, 53, and 70. So, he might have a little more risk to missing some games. So sell high on Bradley. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Bradley might surprise us and still keep up a decent pace. Like no, he's going to keep the pace he has now. But if you can get Alex Tuck, I would really like that move. I think that would be a great trade for your team. If you have Brad Marchand, you can swing Alex Tuck.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on this one, Ryan. I think that Marchand's been running hot. He's been the guy since Kachuk is out, and he's performed for what the Panthers want him to do. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't think it's going to continue throughout the rest of the season. But it's interesting. You're okay with the Rat at 38 years old, but Malkin,
no
true ageism here, but.
Something's different in Pittsburgh, He's got Crosby to contend with. If Malkin wants to take a day off, Crosby will be like, "No, what do you mean take a day off?" Where Marchand will be like, "Hey, Paul Maurice, save me for the playoffs." But
yeah, and I really like that those comparisons, like Tuck, Gunther, Fiala, any of those guys I would smash except for Marchand, especially Gunther. He would be a great trade target with how bad Utah is doing as well. But Brian, getting into your time to sell.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at selling Dylan Cousins. He started the season really hot. Now, I got to preface this because I do like Dylan Cousins as a player, especially in categories leagues. He bangs a lot, which is really great. But what I'm seeing right now is he's not really creating chances for himself. And not to mention, he was kind of taken off power play 1, which is a little bit of a hiccup considering I think it might even be half of his points for the season were off of the power play. So the fact that he's off, that's definitely going to hurt his value. He's also not shooting as much recently. Mind you, he is banging. I think he put 6 or 7 hits last game, which we love to see. But just looking at some of the underlying metrics, like IPP is, at 0% over the last 5 games, which isn't good. His on-ice shooting percentage is down. Now, one thing I will notice, but that could also be because of his line mates, is that his Corsi for is up. So his line is producing, but he's not getting really involved in any of it. So for that reason, I'd be looking to sell on Dylan Cousins. One of the trade targets I think would be worthwhile, especially if you're in a Cats league, is Cousins for Cooley. I think that could be pretty fair. Right now, they have the same number of points. However, Cooley does cover a little bit more in terms of the peripherals, like the blocks. I think he shoots a little bit more as well. So that would be a target I'd be looking there. What do you guys think on Cousins?
Yeah, no, I kind of am on board with that. It's really his power play that would concern me. Like if he gets off the top power play, yeah, it's definitely a concern. And yeah, with the way Shane Pinto has been going, I would agree with that.
Now, mind you, he can get back onto top power play. If that's the case, I'd love to have him, but for the time being.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like the linchpin here. He needs the top power play to be even going at a 50-point pace. But the Sens, they put him there last season when they acquired him. They will put him right on the top power play, and I think they're just taking a look at Pinto. Who knows what'll stick? But yeah, Dylan Cousins, he's on pace for almost 260 hits, which would be a career high, and that's huge for Cats leagues with hits. And even if he gets like 40 points with those hit numbers, like, yeah, that's probably not what you drafted him for, but it's still valuable. But anywhere that doesn't count hits in a large amount, yeah, I agree. Get rid of him.
And that's another thing is like you probably drafted Dylan Cousins in maybe 10th, 12th round. So really late in the draft. So you didn't draft him for like a 90-point plus range in terms of his production. But if you can get off of Dylan Cousins, pick someone who still lays the body and still gives you some points, like that's super valuable.
Absolutely. All right. We are going to now get into our trade grades. So you send us your trades that have been accepted on Discord, and we will go over them. Did you fleece or get fleeced? And in the first trade here, we've got a couple points submitted by our one and only Blake Creamer. He was trading away McKinnon and Pavel Zacha, and in turn received JJ Peterka, Jason Robertson, and Wyatt Johnston. Now, Brian, your grade.
Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind going back to the last grade, I just want to see the players again. So for those of you listening, I gave this a B plus. So in short, I would do this. I really had to think on this because I'm giving away Mac. I'm giving away McKinnon. But on the other side of it, you're getting Peterka, you're getting J-Rob and Wyatt Johnson. Now, the two pieces I'm most interested in, obviously, are J-Rob and Wyatt Johnson. They have been nuclear to start the season. In a lot of leagues, actually, McKinnon and J-Rob are 1-2 ranked, so you're not actually losing that much. Of course, we expect McKinnon to keep up production and J-Rob maybe not to that degree. But I think you're going to be really happy with getting 2 studs and giving away 1 stud. That's the way I look at it. To be honest, I don't even really look at Zaka so much because I think the trade is mostly McKinnon for J-Rob and Wyatt Johnson. So I would do this. It would just hurt a little bit to get rid of McKinnon.
Yeah, there you go. Ryan.
Yeah, I was struggling with this one.
Hard.
And
good one.
The added context pushed me over the edge to click accept here, where I believe Blake was in last in this league, and he needed the help now. I was digging into like the fantasy hockey schedules, the playoffs, and Dallas has the worst semifinal and final with 6 games played and no off nights, where Colorado has 7 games played with 3 off nights. So in that regard, I was like, why are we getting 2 of the Dallas guys here and giving away Nathan McKinnon? But Blake needs help right now. He's got to get out of the basement. And I think right now, Wyjo and Robertson and even JJ Peterka, who is playing in the top 6, and he's even gotten some looks on the top power play, I think it could return more value in the next little bit than Nathan McKinnon. And yeah, like you can't waste away Nathan McKinnon on a bad season. So I think this is a good trade. Just enough for me to say yes. I'm giving it a B minus. So I'm doing it.
Yeah, you got to make the playoffs, right? So that's it.
I would make this trade as well. I give it a B. The only reason I give it a B is because it's Nathan McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon is the best player in fantasy hockey, and it's Nate Dogg. It's very tough. Now, outside of like getting ridiculous value, this might be the best fair value to get for Nathan McKinnon. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, Ryan, you've got to believe. You got to believe in the star. Wyatt Johnson and Jason Robertson are 2 of the hottest players in fantasy hockey, and J-Rob scored another goal even tonight. I mean, this guy can't be stopped. And talk about Wyatt Johnston real quick. In one of my leagues, I was dead to rights to lose. I have Wyatt Johnston, and my buddy Zach, if you're listening, man, I am sorry, because Wyatt Johnston put up a hat trick to steal the win. And when anybody does that for your fantasy team, you want him on your team. So if there's any 2 players to get for Nathan McKinnon, I think these are the 2 to get. Brian, you want to take us into our next trade?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a 12-team points league. Goals and hat tricks are 2 points. Assist is 1. Power play, shorthanded points, and blocks are 0.5. Shots on goal and hits are 0.1. This trade was submitted by Kamikaze. Is a strat. You're going to be giving away EP40, so Elias Pettersson and Nico Hischier, and you're going to be receiving Brandon the Haggle Bagel and Jesper Bratt.
Yeah. So I'm giving this an A. And I think Bratt is honestly a bit of a downgrade from Hischier in this league because blocks are pretty valuable here. As well, goals are worth twice as much as assists, so Hischier will get much more where Bratt is the distributor here. But Hagel is just like even without top power play, he's much more valuable to me than Pettersson. Even though Pettersson is having a nice rebound, like I'm doing this all day. And yeah, if we're all in agreement here, there is I think this was an offer, and maybe we can help him find a more fair trade if this gets rejected. But what do you guys think? Brian, you're up.
I think it went to me
Evan.
quick.
I will speak for Evan. No, I'm joking.
I am in agreement with you, Ryan, on this. I would do the trade. It's a B+ for me. I think that Hagel is such a huge upgrade that I would definitely do it. But yeah, Hischier to Bratt is a downgrade. It's not that big of a downgrade though. And I think once Jack Hughes comes back and they get that line rolling, it'll be stomachable.
Yeah, so I like this trade a little bit more. I gave this A minus. To be honest, the biggest holdup for me looking at the blocks that Elias Pettersson gives, but you're just gonna be getting so much more value offensively from Hagel and Bratt that it really does make up for it. Even Nico Hischier this year has been blocking a lot, so you're gonna be losing a little bit on the blocks, but you're making that up like tenfold on the point side. So yeah, I'd be making this trade all day.
Yeah. And yeah, just some extra context here if you want to go back. He said that he really wants an Ottawa player, but he will most certainly want more than any of them, his opponent. And it seems like this is a Ottawa Senator fan league because the other team had Batherson, Cousins on the team as well. And he was interested in getting Pinto and Giroux and Nichushkin. So if he rejects this, I would, some other guys on the team, Jack Hughes, Braden Point, Matt Kachuk, all these guys that are injured, like go for one of these guys that are sitting on the IR, maybe take away Hagel out of the equation, go for like Bratt and Jack Hughes, and maybe toss in Pinto. Maybe that's a strategy here. Maybe it's a kamikaze. Who knows? But yeah, I honestly think that this trade might be rejected because we all like it. So
yeah, there's a red flag. We all like it.
Yeah, fair point. Going into our third trade here, redraft 12 team head-to-head Cats League, goals, assists, power play points, shorthanded points, game-winning goals, shots, hits, blocks, PIMs, and face-off wins made by JHL Hits, giving away Elias Pettersson and receiving Timo Meier and Tom Wilson. Ryan.
That's a home run. I just hit it out of the park with this one. I think, I'm giving out an A+ here. What are we doing here? This is a true bangers Cats League with blocks, PIMs, hits, shots, shorties, and Tom Wilson is your banger Cats god. I think Tom Wilson in of himself is more valuable than Elias Pettersson. You're losing out on faceoffs here, but maybe you can find a way to get that category. You're gaining so much in PIMs, hits, shots with Wilson and Meier. Like there's just no question here.
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm giving this a B+, so I would be making this trade. A lot more of the pros outweigh the cons here. To Ryan's point, you're going to be losing out on face-off wins and the blocks, but you're going to be making up everywhere else. The only other thing is you're going to be losing a streamer spot if you covet that. But at the end of the day, you're getting two studs. Tom Wilson is nuclear this year, and Timo's been really playing well, especially when he's on that top power play now. So, yeah, I think B+. I should even put this into the A range, but I'm definitely making this trade.
Yeah, absolutely. I give this an A as well. I think, Tom Wilson alone, I think I'd like consider it's, and then you're getting Timo Meier, who he's still been deployed consistently on the top power play, and he has been the trigger man with Jack Hughes out. So I really like that. And he's got the category coverage to boot, even despite power play time. So yeah, love that. Ryan, we're getting into our fourth trade. Timo time. You want to go over this one, Ryan?
Yeah, so this is a 10-team points league, a little more shallow here. 4 points for a goal, 3 points for an assist. You get a point for plus minus. You get a point for power play points. And then 0.25 for a hit, 0.5 for a block. We are giving away Mo Seider, and we are getting Jesper Bratt and Seth Jones. And Brian, you are here first.
Yeah. Let me just say, boom, baby. I'm doing this. I'm actually making this trade all day. You're going to be getting Seth Jones and Jesper Bratt. Jesper Bratt, first of all, will give you a ton more points. So the goals and assists are weighted the most, and he's going to be giving you all of those. And then Seth Jones is obviously Mo Seider really light, but he's still going to give you some value. So you're getting two players. You're going to take a little hit on the defense side, but you're getting such a boost on the offense side. So absolutely, there's like no brainer for me on making this.
Yeah. Ryan?
Couldn't have said it better myself. Other than, Seth Jones is not Mo Seider. His periffs has dropped off a cliff. It's a different guy for me. Seth Jones, I think, can still get more points than Mo Seider. But Jesper Bratt is the big prize here, and We're all in agreement here. A+ for me.
I said Mo Sider light. So he's very light. Very
my
light.
mistake.
He still got a hit and a block last game, 1-1. Mo Sider got like 6 and 6 or something.
Mo Sider tied to a bunch of balloons. That light. It's A+ here for me as well. I think all the reasons you guys highlighted. I do love Mo Sider, but it's too much with Brett. All right, Brian, into our 5th trade.
Yeah, we got the APL Tier 4 submitted by Terry G29. You're going to be giving away, this is going to be a mouthful, you're giving away Clayton Keller, Nazem Kadri, Darren Radish. You're going to be receiving Kyle Connor, Alex Tuck, and Darnell Nurse.
The Eggman.
The Eggman.
And I think this is an A+ trade. I mean, you're getting back some of the best players. Kyle Connor alone again, and then Tuck. We all love Tuck, and then the Eggman. I mean, Clayton Keller is underperforming right now, but not to the extent like where I'd be like expecting this massive bounce back. And Kadri has been picking it up a little bit on a struggling Flames team, but there's just not enough value on the first side of this trade for somebody to be giving away Kyle Connor. I feel like Darren Radish is going to be kicked to the curb when Hedman comes back, I think. So yeah, this is an A+ from me.
All right, I give this an A, and the reason being, I don't think Darren Radish is going to be kicked to the curb as quick as we think off that power play, because he's been performing really well. I think Hedman will get the first look. Obviously, it's Victor Hedman, but I think Radish could still get some time up there. Looking at the individual players, Kyle Connor obviously is going to outperform Clayton Keller this year. Kadri and Tuck, I think, are actually pretty similar, but Tuck has the edge with all those blocks. And then Radish and Nurse, like the Eggman, shiniest head on the planet, we know. But Darren Radish will eventually get off power play 1. So I'm still making this trade. I really like it.
All right. And Ryan.
Yeah. A+ for me. Darren Radish, similar to Cousins, all of his value is dependent on that top power play, where the Eggman, he'll be your top 20 defenseman with all those periffs, and you can count on him there without any power play time, which won't come. But yeah, Terry G29, he's an APL Tier 4. With this trade, get ready for Tier 3 next year, man.
Yeah.
There you go. You heard it there first. I love that. All right, getting to our sixth trade, 12-team Cats League. Same roster size as APL. Goals, assists, power play points, shots on goal, shorthanded points, hits, blocks. Submitted by TW8. Given away Bertuzzi and receiving Matt Duchene. I give this one a C. I don't really like this trade. I think that I would not do this trade. I think that Matt Duchene, 1, has been out with this injury, and it seems like he's been day-to-day for about a month. I think they officially deemed him day-to-day today again, which I don't know what that means. But I think that Tyler Bertuzzi's role is very secure here, especially on that top power play, which has been really good. Bedard's been lighting it up, and even though he hasn't played with Bedard all the time on even strength lines, they've been shifting it back and forth. But Tyler Bertuzzi's currently like in line for a career year or close to it, back with when he did with the Detroit Red Wings when he had 60 points, 30 goals. And I think it could be something similar to that this year. So yeah, I'm not sold that Duchene's going to return the exact value that you want there. Brian.
Yeah, I see this similarly. I give this a B-. Getting Matt Duchene, I think, depends a lot on if he gets power play 1, which I don't think he will. So I don't really like it. Whereas Bertuzzi has been really, really good. When healthy, obviously, he's really good on that top power play. Chicago looks like they have found some offense, and a lot of his value is on that top power play, but he's been producing there. So I actually really like Tyler Bertuzzi this year, and for that reason, I want to hold on to him.
All right. And Ryan.
Yeah, we're all in agreement here. I'm holding on to Bertuzzi. I liked what you said with 60 points by the end of the season. I think that's doable for Bertuzzi. He's on that top power play unit, and he's in the top 6, whether it's Bedard or Frank Nazar. There's lots of talent that he is surrounded by. I have Matt Duchene in one league, and this gives me a great idea to maybe the Bertuzzi owner
pull the trigger.
Yeah, so I might send that offer and see if I can get Bertuzzi.
There you go. Ryan, you want to continue with our 7th trade?
Yeah, seventh trade. Here we go. This is the APL again, and this is a trade that was done by Nate. He gave away Matthew Tkachuk, and he's receiving Clayton Keller and Matt Tkachuk on the IR. Clayton Keller in play here. I'm giving this an A. Context: Nate is not in the basement anymore with me. He has dug his way out, and he got himself 3 wins. So he's 3-5. But still, like, if you're not securely at the top of the league and you're holding on to Matt Tkachuk, I totally agree that this is the right move to go get someone who can help you now. You need to get yourself into the playoffs, and Clayton Keller can do that. And I think Clayton Keller is on really a big cold streak, and I think he's on maybe a 70 to 75 point pace, and I think he'll eclipse a point per game by the end of the season, and potentially be as valuable as Matt Tkachuk will be when he returns. So I'm doing this trade all day.
All right. I'm going to give this a C+. I would not do this trade. You said you need help now, Ryan, and Clayton Keller is not doing a damn thing now, and neither is the rest of Utah. Until they turn it around, I'm very sour on Utah as a team. That being said, my thing is like, I get that he's turning it around. Matthew Tkachuk has a targeted return date kind of near the end of December. I think he's close to being here. And I think that if he can just hold out for a few more weeks, you drafted him, put him on your IR, hoping to get that level of production. I think there's a difference between Matthew Tkachuk and Clayton Keller. And I don't think I would sacrifice, 2 to 3 more weeks of Clayton Keller for Matthew Tkachuk personally. I understand the logic behind it, but I personally wouldn't do it. Brian?
Yeah, I see it similarly. I gave this a C. So without any of the context, just looking at the trade value, you drafted Matthew Tkachuk with the hopes that he comes back, and you're only a couple weeks away. I think the most recent update is he was skating on his own, and we expect him to be back at the end of December. So for sure, beginning of January. And for that reason, I think I want to hold on to Matthew Tkachuk. Like, I've made it this far with him on my IR. I want to keep him until he actually plays. And yeah, I think Keller is not producing the way I hoped he would. Mind you, of course, he's probably just a little bit in a rut, which happens with players. So that'll ebb and flow. But Matthew Tkachuk, I think he will bring more value to your team. He does a little bit of everything. He will hit, he will shoot. So that's really valuable. Clayton Keller will shoot sometimes, and then he'll put up a lot of points, but he won't hit. He won't really block. Like, he won't do any of that. And I think Matthew Tkachuk, it really just depends on what kind of Matthew Tkachuk we really get when he comes back. But I think I would prefer to hold on to Matthew Tkachuk.
Let me paint a situation here, and you guys let me know if you can see it in the clouds. Matthew Tkachuk, he comes back in January at some point, plays a few games, looking good. He gets point per game, and then we have the Olympic break, and he's like, all right, I'm ready to go rocket for USA. I want to fly around the ice to Freebird. And then in a game against Canada, boom, he gets hurt. He plays through the injury because it's the Olympics, and he's like, oh yeah, no, I can't sit out. I gotta keep on going. And by the time the Olympics is over and USA has their silver medal, he returns to Florida, sees the Florida doctors, and decides, guys, Florida, please get to the playoffs, and I'll join you. I'll join you in there in round 1, and we'll dominate the Leafs again.
Yeah, I think Brady and Matt are going to be too worried about their podcast to be throwing nucks like they were, at the Four Nations last year. It's weird. I agree with this sentiment that Matthew Tkachuk could come back from this injury, play really hard in the Olympics, and get injured. That is a possibility. I think my whole thing with this is that Nate did this to get production now. It'd be different if Clayton Keller was performing as we expected him to, and Utah as a team was performing as we expected them to. I would have no problem with this trade. I really think there's something going on with Utah, like watching their last few games pretty closely. Their power play is abysmal. It's 30th in the league. They're not getting the puck to go. They're not even shooting. They're just like working it around the perimeter to lose it at the point. Like something's going on. There's some bad mojo in that locker room. They need to shake it up. I know they brought up this guy from the AHL, but yeah, I think that's my big issue with it. But I like that side of it, Ryan. I think that's a good point.
Yeah. if Clayton Keller doesn't put up 4 points tonight, then I'll be willing to trade him. But they're playing Anaheim tonight, right? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. With Ville Husso and
Ville
net, like,
Husso.
come on. Like, Keller better be put up a couple points. I'm just saying. Like, so
yeah, I'm liking that second line with Daniil Bieu with Cooley and Genther. Like, I think it could be a spark that they need.
I'm calling it right now. It's going to be 5-2 Ducks, and the 2 goals are going to come from Yamamoto and Lawson Krause.
No Logan O'Brien? Logan O'Brien's banging one
in. All right, Ryan, you want to get into the 8th trade?
Yeah. All right. Another APL league here. Another trade involving Matt Tkachuk. We're giving away Matt Tkachuk and Sean Monahan, but we are receiving JT Miller and Elias Pettersson, the best friends, both on the same team. Evan, you're up.
I'm giving this one an A. I think that, yeah, despite having them on the same fantasy team, they will not be playing on the same real life team anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that the difference between like either Monahan and Miller or Monahan and Pettersson is just too great to ignore. I like Matthew Tkachuk coming back, but I think JT Miller will turn it around. And I think Pettersson has shown he's kind of turning it around and valuable in pretty much any format. So I like the value here of what you're getting back for sure.
All right, guys, let me paint you a picture. What if JT Miller doesn't come back? Okay, like what if he's just taking a sabbatical? It's not working for him. He starts having some, locker room drama. He's not putting pucks in net. Then what? To that point, I'm giving this a B, so I don't like it as much, but I am still making the trade. I think EP40, Elias Pettersson is going to be better on your team than Sean Monahan. And Matthew Tkachuk versus JT Miller, I honest to God think you can flip a coin to see who's going to outperform who at this point, because like we said, Tkachuk come back from injury, and JT Miller, I don't know, maybe someone's wife made fun of him or something, and he's just taking it personally. Like, I'm hoping we see a rebound from JT Miller rest of the season, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing from him.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah, this is an A for me. I'm not liking what I'm seeing, but I'm liking what I'm seeing in the crystal ball for JT Miller.
The clouds.
He will turn it around. You're looking at JT Miller, who has a 55% even strength IPP and a 44% power play IPP. It seems like, everyone's doing a bit of stuff on the Rangers now offensively, and he's lily dallying in the background and just skating away to the bench or just gliding along the ice like we saw in that terrible replay that's going around the league. So yeah, I don't think that'll continue for JT Miller. He has IPPs of in the mid 70 range on both even strength and power play, and I think we'll return to that, and we can get back that point per game. JT Miller, we know.
There we go. Getting into our last trade here. ESPN Points League, goals 3, assists 1.5, power play, goal is 0.2, power play points 1, shots on goal 0.15, hits 0.15, and blocks 0.5. Giving away Morgan Geekie and Adam Fantilli and receiving Quinn Hughes. Ryan.
Yeah, I am doing this all day. Morgan Geekie and Adam Fantilli, two of Evan's favorite hockey players this season, and who can complain with Morgan Geekie? He's going to put up 60 goals is it this season, and Adam Fantilli is really crushing it with some extra minutes in Columbus. But we're receiving Quinn Hughes, who I don't really know what's going on in Vancouver. Quinn Hughes had a JT Miller moment last night, and maybe he wants out. If he gets out, maybe
Hughes to the Red Wings.
To the Red Wings? I don't know if he's gonna go to the Red Wings. I think he's going anywhere. He's going to get some brotherly love, and no, that's not Philadelphia. But yeah, I'm giving this an A. Quinn Hughes is just the second best defenseman in fantasy hockey. He'll finish that way this season, and you can give away Geekie and Fantilli for that.
Yeah,
Brian.
Yeah, I'm giving this a I guess I'm giving this a boom. Boom. I give this an A-. So I'm absolutely making this trade just because you're getting the best player first and foremost, and you're freeing up a spot for streamers, which is always valuable if you use them properly. Yeah, you're giving away an 80-goal scorer in Morgan Geeky. I'm kidding. He's not going to be 80 goals, but he's facing, obviously, we talked about it. He's scoring a lot. I can't imagine that'll sustain for the entire year. And then Fantilli, he's blossoming. He looks good out there, but it just doesn't compare to Quinn Hughes. So I'm all for having the best player on my team. And in this case, it's Quinn Hughes.
There we go. Agree with everything you both said. I do believe in Morgan Geeky. Let's make that very clear. But subtle brag, this was my trade. And I wanted to try and showcase Ryan what Morgan Geeky's true value is before we accept the trade in our own league. So
very nice.
So think about that when you send me some more offers for him, Ryan.
Yeah. So for context, me and Evan were this close. We were so close to having a trade done, and this was maybe 2 weeks ago or more than 2 weeks ago. It would have been Morgan Geeky, Dorofeev, and Adam Fantilli, and I would have given away. Sorry, who was I giving you? Jarvis.
Seth Jarvis, Sam Bennett, and I think that was it. Just like a 3 for 2, I believe.
Yeah, and we were really close. I kept telling Evan how unsustainable Morgan Geeky was and how much, do I even want him? But Evan came to his senses after watching Fantilli get a 2-goal game with a game winner, and then Geeky get a 2-goal game with a game winner. And he got cold feet, and good for him because, yeah, it was probably not in his best interest to get just Seth Jarvis and Bennett for Geeky, Fantilli, and Dorofeev.
Yeah, no, it's I obviously what Geeky's doing is unsustainable, but I think that he has proven that he is definitely the second guy there behind Pasta. So yeah, some comments here before we get into our fantasy hockey court. Ryan O'Toole, Q8D, any forwards that hit and shoot the target if I'm trading away Panarin? Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah. Marner,
yeah,
Forsberg.
I think Timo Meyer, Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
What about Philippe Forsberg?
But do you really want to buy Philippe Forsberg?
No, you'd have to pair him with someone else, I think. But yeah, Timo's been hitting and shooting a lot.
Yeah,
there you go. Sports and stocks. A couple trades I've been struggling with, boys. Maybe you could help me. My Caulfield for Marner, 1. 2, Keller for my Gunther/Allen. Roto League with goals, assists, power play points, shots on goal, plus minus, blocks. Caulfield for Marner, man, that's tough. I think I don't. That's tough. I'm gonna throw it to you first, Ryan. I gotta think about that one.
I would do that. I would do that first trade. I would take Marner, but the second trade, Keller. Oh yeah, he's getting Keller. He's giving away Guenther and Jake Allen. I would do both those trades. Brian, what about you?
Yeah, I would definitely do both those trades, especially after I just picked up Allen and he let in 5 goals against Columbus. So I want him off my team. I would take Marner for Caulfield. I think the point side is a lot higher. That's most of the categories, or I guess half the categories there. And then Gunther and Allen, you're going to get the best player in that deal too. So yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I would definitely do the getting Keller for Gunther and Allen. Man, yeah, I'm just so low on Marner. I think I would do it. I would do Caulfield for Marner. I'm not confident. I'm not 100% confident. I know I probably should be, but that's my thought on it. All right. Fantasy hockey court, Ryan. Do you want to tell us about this?
All righty. Fantasy hockey court. We are back. We might put someone in jail tonight. We might not. Who's to say? But we're gonna get to the bottom of it. We have Luke Hughes on the stand. He is charged with making the Devils look like they have no one on defense, so that he can convince them to trade for his brother Quinn. That's what he's charged with. He's played 26 games and he only has 1 goal. He has 13 assists, 58 shots, and 24 blocks. That gives him an 82 game pace of only 44 points, 183 shots, and 76 blocks. So we have a really good prosecutor that was brought in from the Crown here. And let me introduce you everyone to Brian.
Hello. Yeah. So let's take a deep dive on Luke Hughes here. I really want to first of all prosecute him also as being a false prophet. We talked about him all through the offseason about how he's going to be the second coming of Christ, and he's going to take over power play one. It started that way at the beginning of the season, and then not only is he not getting power play one, but when Dougie Hamilton goes down, it's not even Luke Hughes. It's Simon Nemec. What's he doing up there? You draft Luke Hughes because you expect some point upside, which you want to see in the 60 point range. He's not pacing that way as it stands now. And as a defenseman, typically you want defensemen who at least cover some peripherals, and he doesn't do any of that either. Now we could live with that if he put up some points, but guess what? He's not putting up any points at all. He doesn't block. He doesn't hit. He's shooting a little bit, but it doesn't matter because nothing's going in the net. So underlying metrics, ice cold, not getting power play one. I won't stand for it. He's guilty.
All right.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say the Hughes family, with Jack and Quinn all pitching in, they actually hired the best lawyer in town. So we got Evan here on defense. I believe Evan's billable lawyer hours are in the $5,000 per hour range. So let's hear what you got for Luke Hughes.
That's right. After trading for his brother Quinn in the league, I got to back them up. They got a discount this time. So, we all drafted Luke Hughes to be the guy this year. I think that's the biggest problem is we're all looking at this through a certain lens. And I did the same thing. I drafted Luke Hughes in a couple spots, probably 4 rounds too high. And, if you're looking at his 82 game pace, it's similar to what he did last year, 44 points. Interestingly enough, the 183 shots that he's pacing for is much better than the 120 that he put up last year. So he's shooting more. I think the biggest problem for Luke Hughes is actually Sheldon Keefe. That's the thing holding him back, similar to a lot of players, he's not getting that power play one treatment, and I don't really understand why. Simon Nemec is good, but he's not a power play one defenseman. He shouldn't be anyways. I think they really like that right-handed look, similar to what they did with Dougie. But if you look at Luke Hughes, he's getting a lot more responsibility defensively, which is a problem for fantasy, but he's getting shorthanded time. He's getting a lot more even strength minutes this year. So he's getting more time on ice, almost like full 2 minutes more than he did last year. So I like the time on ice going up. I like that he's shooting more. I think, he's not getting lucky in terms of his even strength points. And I think that's going to turn around. And I still think pace rest of season, if he is going to grab onto power play one, and I think Dougie will either get hurt or moved, book it. I called it last time, and Dougie got hurt like the next 2 days. It's going to happen. And then they're going to have to decide between him and Nemec, and then he'll still get some power play time. I also think if you look at his underlyings on the season, he's still 7th amongst all defensemen, individual scoring chances 4 per 60. He's 25th in individual expected goals per 60, and he's 12th in individual Corsi 4 per 60. He's still doing stuff out there. He's just not getting the points. I think you have to stick it out with Luke Hughes. I think at some point this season, I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but he is going to pace like we expected him to. He's going to pick it up. He did it the last 2 seasons where in the second half of the season, that's when he really went off. So you got to be patient. It's been painful holding on to him, but you have to be patient with this guy. Hey, look at him. He's a baby. Look at this picture. He's growing up before our eyes, but we have to be patient, gentlemen.
Baby doesn't belong in the NHL, and shots don't mean anything if nothing goes into the net. How patient can we be?
I'm glad he brought that up, Brian. Objection. He has a 1.7 shooting percentage compared to his average closer to 6 over the past 2 years. And if he's shooting more, that's going to go up too.
All right. Maybe. I have a question. You brought up his age. He's 22 years old, but there is a 21-year-old on the team who's shooting 15% right now. Is that big grown man numbers over there with Simon Nemec? And just checking now on the game tonight, it looks like Simon Nemec is on for all the power play ice time, and Luke Hughes is on for none. That's not a good sign.
What's the score of that game, Ryan? How many power play goals do the New Jersey Devils have?
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not gonna, get involved here. I'm just bringing up some facts here to provide a good judgment. There are
I'm
no
just trying to
goals.
give the judge all the information. That's all.
Listen, but if there's no power play goals from New Jersey and he's still not on the top power play, what does that tell you about Sheldon Keefe's confidence in him? We need the results now this season. So if he's not going to be on the ice, what's the issue? Luke Hughes.
I also think the underrated part of this that no one's talking about is Jack is out right now. And guess who's his biggest fan? His brother. When Jack returns, he's not going to be wanting Simone Nemec out there. Simone Nemec was like asking to be traded beginning of last year. Like he was not happy with the Devils organization. And now all of a sudden he has a hat trick game and, oh my God, let's put him on power play one. No. Sheldon Keefe is trying to galaxy brain this. He did it with the Leafs for years. He's trying to do it with the Devils. He's going to ruin this team. We don't want him to do it, but he's doing it. But Luke Hughes is the guy. They paid him to be the guy. Let him be that offensive guy.
All right,
Judge.
Brian. Any closing remarks from you, Brian?
Yeah, third man up on the power play. No peripherals. That's enough.
All right. Well, I've taken all the facts of the case into consideration here, and a few more extra notes here. Yeah, you brought up that shooting percentage. Last season, he had a 5.8% shooting percentage. This season, it's at 1.7, though he has more expected goals this year than last. So it's not like he's taking fewer quality shot attempts. I think the quality shot attempts are still there, meaning that he might get 5 goals instead of 1, which is nice. But the on ice numbers are still there. I'm siding with Evan on this one. We have an innocent little boy there in fantasy hockey court. He is too young to be prosecuted here, and we're gonna let him slide with this one.
There we go. See, the money paid off for the Hughes family, and you're welcome, Brian. You can hold on to him in all of your leagues and reap the rewards.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Few more questions here before we end off. Ryan O'Toole asks, Maxime Shabanov or Daniel Biu? Well, we haven't really seen anything from Biu yet, but Shabanov is on that top power play unit, so I'd go Shabanov at the time. But I am streaming Biu in 2 spots tonight, and you'll see some points there. And then trade Ovi for JT Miller. That is a very interesting one, and I would do that. Evan, would you trade Ovi for JT Miller?
That is a tough one. I don't think that I would. I think Ovechkin, like at the beginning of the year, obviously I would have said yes. With what I've seen so far, I think Ovechkin's still got some stuff left in the tank. I'm sick of doubting him. I wouldn't do it at this point. Brian?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I just what if with JT Miller? Or yeah, what if with JT Miller? I'll hold on to Ovi.
All right, and then this question here, I think me and Brian would say yes, slam dunk, but this one's for Evan because he's so low on Marner and so high on Geeky. Is being reluctant to send Geeky away for Marner crazy? Basically, APL settings. I would say yeah, it's crazy to be reluctant. Go get Mitch Marner for Geeky. Evan, what are you saying?
No, Simon Hampton, you're not crazy because Morgan Geeky is the truth. However, you have to let go of your feelings for Morgan Geeky and get Mitch Marner. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Brian, I spoke for you, but do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with you. You spoke for me. That's good.
Nice. All right. Another question here. Goalie question. What podcast are we on?
What are those?
10-man head-to-head. Wins are 4, saves 0.6, and a goal against is -2. Cut 1. Jesper Wallstedt, the best goalie in the league, Linus Ullmark, or Lucas Dostal. Interesting because it sounds like you might not have an IR spot. I think with no IR spot, you can't roster someone who's not playing. So I honestly would probably cut Dostal. He had a good run. Maybe try to trade him, but you can't just have someone not playing taking up a roster spot.
Yeah, if you did have an IR spot, I'd say drop Ullmark. But if you don't, try to trade Dostal, then you'd have to drop him, I think.
I think you cut Wallstad here. I mean, I kind of agree with Ryan. I don't think this is obviously going to continue. I know the +6 for shutouts is getting you a lot there, but I think Dostal has proven he was very viable for points leagues. Rest of season when he gets back. So I'd like to hold on to him even without the IR spot personally.
What I would do is I would cut them all and go get some extra skater spots with some
Right.
off games. Yeah.
Go pick up the Eggman, Darnell Nurse.
Yeah. And then one last one here. Cut 1D, 6.5 points for a goal, 4.5 for an assist. Pretty standard. Periffs and Rasmus Anderson versus the Eggman, Darnell Nurse. I'm with those periffs, actually. A block. Now I have to look at the numbers here. A block is 1, where a goal is 6.5 and an assist is 4.5. Actually, the periffs are a little too low for me, and I'm taking Anderson while he's still on power play 1. So I'm cutting the Eggman here. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think you'd have to. And then the issue is if Rasmus Anderson gets traded, then you're going to wish you had Nurse instead. But short term, I would keep Anderson, cut Nurse, the Eggman.
Same as it pains me to say so.
Shiniest head on the planet.
Another question for Marner here. Would you give up John Tavares for him?
No.
Brian, would you?
I mean, depends on the league settings.
Doesn't matter what league you're in. Absolutely not.
You wouldn't?
In a pure points league, even then, yeah. I don't know. I think Tavares has taken on, a little bit of an increased role because the Matthews line, like with him and Nyes, like it's all Nylander and Tavares there in Toronto right now. I don't know.
No, but Tavares is doing a lot of that while Matthews is out, and then he scored yesterday. It was an empty net. Like I don't see Tavares' production going or staying as high as it has been, and I see Marner's going up.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
I think Marner's production will go up, but Tavares just gets the periffs anyways. Yeah, that's tough. I'm a Marner hater, guy. Sorry.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would probably do this. Like Marner is just a point per game pace. So is Tavares. Tavares is a little better than that, and Tavares has all the periffs included, so that's an extra boost. But Marner's upside, I'm doing it. I'm going for the upside of 100 points, which John Tavares can't do. So I'd probably do it.
Tavares hears you when he's sleeping with his Toronto blanket.
All right, thoughts on Matt Tkachuk? Should I trade for him because he might be out for a while, or should I hold on to him? Currently just below half in the league. Trade for him, or should I hold on to him? Sounds like you own. Yeah, sounds like you own Matt Tkachuk. I think we've talked about him a lot here. I would probably look to trade him away if you can get someone like Clayton Keller. But Evan, what are you saying?
I think you hold Matthew Tkachuk unless you can get somebody really good, which I don't think Clayton Keller right now is that guy. But I mean, just below half in the league. If you need production now, you could realistically go trade for somebody. I would trade him for somebody more like let's say like Seth Jarvis, Ryan. I think I'd be more up for that. But yeah, if you really want production now, you can certainly trade him because there's the news that he's been skating and going to return. So a lot of people may be high on acquiring him. So if you can get a good haul for him, definitely. Mm-hmm. If you can sell him for a good haul, then I would do it. Not for Clayton Keller though.
Yeah,
Brian?
I would probably say the same. I think initially I want to say hold. If you're just below half, there's still enough time in the season to make your way back up. You're not in dead last. That's okay. And there's a lot of upside with Tkachuk. But to Evan's point, a lot of people knowing Tkachuk is coming back soon, they could be really high on him. So see what you can get, I think, and then make the decision. If you can get something, great, do it. If not, I'm okay with holding.
All right. Yeah. So that concludes our Trade Talks Week 9. Get into the Discord. Submit your trades in the Trade Talks mailbag. We want to review your trades. We want to give them trade grades, and we might be able to help you out with some trade offers you got. So include all the information and submit them, and we will go through your trade on the show. But that's all we got for this episode, and hopefully it brought you some value and helped you get a little bit better at fantasy hockey today. Many thanks to Matt Creamer for supplying some music for the podcast. Thanks for listening. Go crush your fantasy leagues. Before we do the outro song, I gotta share this 121-second snippet here before we conclude. Before the outro, here we go. See everyone.
Straight talks, 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 straight talks.
All right, we'll catch you next week.